Welcome to another Lapis Guides Introduction to QGIS tutorial. In this short lesson, we're going to be using the field calculator to calculate the area of a polygon. And this is really useful for a variety of different things, including figuring out how much land is devoted to agriculture, or maybe urban areas, or forested spots, or glaciers. And we can compare historical satellite photos or aerial photos and create vector polygons around different areas and compare that with current polygons so that we can see what the change has been like over time. And this can give us ideas and clues on what may or may not happen in the future as well. So that's why we would do this. So let's go ahead and have a quick look at how we would actually go about this. So I've got the georeferenced 1961 file of Bishkek up. I've also got the 2019 satellite image of Bishkek up as well. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to look at what's called the Elm Grove, which is a forested region within the city of Bishkek that has changed over time. So we need to make a shapefile for the 2019 map as well as the 1961 map. All right. I've already made a couple shapefiles. So here's the two shapefiles. Zoom in on those. And you can see that there have been changes over time between the two. These aren't perfect shapefiles, but they're pretty decent, and it gives us a good indication of what's been happening. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to open up the attribute table and start with the 2019 shapefile. All right, we're going to click on the field calculator. Okay, we're going to give this a name, and this is going to be area in square meters. We change this to a decimal number. I'm going to increase the length of my number and a little bit on the precision as well. All right, and we're just going to go down to geometry, double click on area. We don't need to put equals, we just need this, we just need to double click on that. All right, and we'll click OK. And there we go, there's our area. Okay, and again, this is in meters, square meters. Okay, but it would probably be a whole lot more useful if we had this in square kilometers. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Area, square kilometers, decimal number, increase precision, and this time it's going to be area divided by 1 million. The reason why is because in 1 square kilometer you have 1 million square meters, right? We'll click OK, and there we go. We've now got our area in square meters and square kilometers. Okay. Great, make sure you save that. Excellent. We'll do the same thing with the 1961 shapefile. You can actually access the field calculator directly from right next to the attribute table button. We can go in and we can look at that, and there's our square meters and square kilometers. We can immediately see this is our 2019 area and our 1961 area. We can immediately see that there's been a big change in the area of this elm grove, this park within the city of Bishkek. All right, and once we know that this is happening, now we can ask questions as to why is this happening. We can do this with glaciers. We can look at old historical satellite or other aerial photographs, and we can calculate the area of a glacier and compare that to the current area of the same glacier and see how much it has receded. Basically looking at how much per year is it receding as well. And this can give us an indication if per year it's receding by X amount, then what will the glacier size be in a certain number of years, and we can calculate that based on the numbers that we've gotten. We can do that with forests, we can do that with urban areas, how fast is the city growing. There's all sorts of different applications that you can put this towards. One really quick note, though, that I want to point out is our projection. You need to make sure that you're using a projection that is measuring in meters, because if you're using a projection that's using degrees, then when you do these calculations in your field calculator, it's going to give you some really weird numbers that aren't actually accurate if you're thinking that they're in terms of square meters or square kilometers. Um, that's not what it's calculating. So you need to make sure that you're using an appropriate projection. Because I'm in Kyrgyzstan, the one that I'm using is the UTM zone 43N, all right, and that's 32643. And that's one that gives us measurements in meters, not in degrees. You can use it for calculating length of line vectors. You can use it for calculating area of polygon vectors, distance between points. You can use it for all sorts of different things like that. Whereas the typical 4326 that often is used would not be appropriate for those kinds of applications. So you just need to make sure that you have your layers done in the right projection when you're doing these kinds of calculations. Right, well, I hope that was a quick, useful little tutorial for you to learn one application of how you can use your field calculator for doing some work with polygon vectors.